This is Sony Bravia 2M2 2025 edition, Sony's latest 4K smart TV, and I've been testing it for a while now. I even compared it with TVs like Samsung Vision QLED, LG and MI TV in a similar range, just to see how it actually performs in daily use. Hi, I'm Pooja and welcome to the channel. I started this space to share reviews that actually help you choose better. Every video here comes from real testing and honest experience. We are still a small channel working toward 10,000 subscribers, and your one subscribe really helps me keep creating and testing more products for you. Let's start with what comes inside the box, and then I'll take you through its design and performance. Inside the box, you'll find a power cord, user manual, warranty card and a smart remote with two AAA batteries. Sony doesn't include a wall mount or tabletop stand by default. Before installation, the service team will call you and you can choose any one you want. The moment you unbox it, it looks and feels premium. Sony completely changed the design from the 2024 model. This one has a cleaner and more elegant look. The metal frame gives it a solid presence, while the back still uses plastic around the motherboard area. The build feels durable and sturdy, nothing cheap about it. If I have to nitpick, the bottom bezel could have been a little slimmer, but still, when it's mounted or placed on a table, it looks classy. Ports are all conveniently placed. 4 HDMI ports with one HDMI 2.1 EARC, 2 USBs, one optical, LAN, and antenna. The only tiny issue, both USB ports are too close to each other. So if you plug in two big pen drives, it gets a bit tight. And the remote, Sony has redesigned it beautifully. It's now made with recycled plastic and has its nice crystal texture finish. Feels light, minimal and premium at the same time. It's also an eco-friendly touch, and I really appreciate that from Sony. Before we move to the picture quality, let me quickly clear one thing. This Bravia 2 Mark II actually comes in two variants. One is 2M2 and the other is 2BM2. Now the B series basically means base model. There are just a few small differences between the two. The M2 comes with a 2-year warranty while the BM2 gets it 1-year warranty. Also in terms of motion, the M2 has Motion Flow XR 200 and the BM2 has Motion Flow XR 100. So the M2 handles fast movements and gaming slightly better, and price is slightly higher for M2. Apart from that, everything else, picture, sound, build and features is exactly the same. Alright, let's talk visuals, because that's where Sony usually wins hearts. Now Sony does not officially share brightness numbers, so I personally measured it using a lux meter. In SDR, I got around 385 nits and in HDR around 328 nits, which means brightness has clearly improved compared to last year's model. In fact, at full brightness, I noticed that sometimes in every bright scenes, faces looked a little overexposed. But when I switched from standard to cinema or professional mode, the tone balanced out beautifully. Skin looked natural and overall depth improved. Sharpness is just excellent. There is no artificial over sharpening. Every texture from clothing to hair to backgrounds looks clean and realistic. Upscaling is something Sony has always nailed. Even old SD channels and YouTube videos looks decent and watchable. If you still have cable TV or love watching older movies, you'll really appreciate that. Now let's talk about colors. This time Bravia 2 M2 feels a little more vibrant. It boosts RGB tones just enough to make the image pop. It's not cartoonish or oversaturated. It's more like eye-catching but elegant. And honestly, I compared it side by side with a few budget QLEDs, and in many scenes the Sony actually looked more refined and balanced. Blacks are deep for an IPS panel. That's something Sony really pulls off well. In daylight or with room lighting on, blacks looks properly dark, but in a completely dark room they turn slightly grey. And yes, I did notice a bit of corner light bleed, just like in last year's model. It's minor, doesn't ruin your experience, but it's there. It's an IPS panel, so you get good viewing angles. A less color shift compared to VA panel. HDR10 and HLG are supported, but still no Dolby Vision or HDR10 Plus. Even then, when you watch Dolby Vision content on Netflix, it plays through HDR10 and still looks beautiful, bright, colorful and detailed enough that you won't really miss Dolby Vision. I tested sports like cricket and MotoGP. While most scenes are smooth, occasionally you'll notice slight skipping or a double image when things move fast. Turning off motion smoothing actually gives a more natural look. So that's what I recommend. Overall, for picture quality, Sony nailed it again. It's not perfect, but it's polished, balanced and easy on the eyes. This TV comes with 20-watt speakers and it supports Dolby Atmos, Dolby Audio and DTS formats, including DTS Virtual X. Sound output is loud enough even for a medium-sized room. Dialogue sounds crisp and there is a hint of bass now, thanks to the Dolby processing. It's not theater level deep bass, but for a daily watching, OTT shows, YouTube or even music videos, it's more than enough. Still, if you love watching big action movies or want that cinematic feel, I would say connect a soundbar using the HDMI eARC port and you'll immediately notice the difference. Under the hood, it's powered by Sony 4K X1 processor, the same reliable chip that handles color, contrast and upscaling beautifully. It also includes an ambient light sensor, which adjusts brightness automatically based on your room lighting. So if you switch off your lights at night, the TV dims slightly on its own. Small feature but very useful. The TV runs on Google TV based on Android 12 and the software feels smoother this year. UI scrolling, app switching, even voice search, everything flows nicely. New add-ons like eco-friendly dashboard and Bravia Core are there. But the most interesting one is PlayStation Remote Play. If you or your friends have a PS4 or PS5, you can log in with your PlayStation ID and literally stream and play games on this TV. Even if the console isn't physically connected, it's a fun little feature for gamers. Connectivity is top notch. Wi-Fi 6, Bluetooth 5.3, Chromecast built-in, Apple AirPlay and HomeKit. For gaming, you get ALLM and one HDMI 2.1 eARC port, but no VRR or HDIG on the 43-inch model. However, if you go for 55 inches or above, you get auto generate picture mode and HDR tone mapping for PS5. I tried a few games on my console and for casual gaming, the experience is really enjoyable. Input lag is low. Response feels quick and colors look sharp. It's not built for competitive 120Hz gaming, but for story-driven or adventure titles, it's perfect. The build feels durable, premium and well put together. Sony's X Protection Pro adds protection from dust, humidity and power fluctuations. That's actually important for Indian conditions. So after using this TV for quite a while and comparing it with others, I would say the Sony Bravia 2 is one of those TVs that just does everything well. Solid picture quality, natural colors and great sound for daily use. It's bright, sharp and clean. And honestly, Sony's tuning makes even simple content look premium. The only thing I noticed, and this is something I've seen on a few Sony LED models, is a slight corner light bleed. It's minor and you'll usually only notice it in very dark scenes. Apart from that, everything else about this TV feels balanced and reliable. If you are looking for a TV that performs well across everything, movies, OTT, sports or even casual gaming, this one will serve you really well. And that's my honest take. So yeah, that's it for today's review. If this video helped you even a little, please hit the like button. It really supports the channel. And if you haven't already, do subscribe. Your one subscribe helped me keep testing and bring more such reviews for you. Thanks for watching. I'm Pooja and I'll see you in the next video.